Here we are, your WCTV Game of the Week, pitting the home Franklin Admirals and the visiting Nolensville Knights. Doug Capella here with Jacob Hammer. Jacob, should be two good games as we head into this winter weekend for Williamson County schools.
Yeah, two strong teams. Franklin's record might not show it at 10-13, but they were a strong team led by Cecily Brandamore, obviously 57 points the other night at Oakland. But this is a strong team. We're going to have two really great games tonight.
Yeah, I think for Nolensville, I'm looking for Nyla Johnson and Josie Ladd to stand out, and then Molly Forrest and Cecily Brandamore for the Admirals. Again, Franklin coming in with a record of 10-13, kind of a deceptive 10-13. And again, when you have a 6'4" post player that just dropped 57, you know that they're going to be dangerous on the inside.
Yeah, Nolensville taking the first one by a score of 51-24, but that doesn't tell the whole story tonight. This Franklin team has gotten better and better as the season has gone on, and they're only going up from here.
Well, and you mentioned in the pregame that Coach Ladd for the Lady Knights has been on a bit of a winning spell, but was not happy with how his team was coming out to play, so he went back to the basics, I guess, shooting free throws, boxing out, all of the fundamentals of basketball. So we'll see how if that translates into more sound technical play as the game progresses.
Yeah, surprising to hear after a big 20-point win at Ravenwood earlier this week. And they're still going back to basics.
For Mary Henson Crunk, the junior, shoots a three to get us started in a scoring action. 3-0 go the Admirals.
Yeah, and she's gotten a lot better as the season's progressed. When Cecily was out for a little bit, Crunk really stepped up as the shooter for this team, making a lot of threes. They made 8 threes as a team in their last game.
Another name you'll hear all tonight is Brakefield for Nolensville. She'll handle the ball quite a bit. Shots up and no good. Admirals back up the court.
Yeah, Nolensville been a strong team this season. If they win tonight, they clinched the district outright. So they're looking to get that done. But this team is getting comfortable, and that's what Coach Ladd said earlier this week. He knows that they're getting a little too comfortable with that one spot, and he's going to push them as hard as they can go.
Good block inside there for the Lady Knights. Reese Small on the block, gets it up court, and then just ill-advised pass trying to rush it, throws the ball away. Franklin is going to take the possession.
Yeah, Reese Small has become such a strong player for this Nolensville team. 8.6 points per game this season. She's become so strong in every aspect.
Terry Miller takes it up, dishes it out. Back to Miller. Miller over to Forrest. Back to Miller. Miller looks, has Crunk on the outside. Inside to Brandamore. They're not going to give up anything easy on the inside, it looks like. 2 defenders crash down on Brandamore, and she's going to shoot 2 from the line. So we'll see if the 6'4" post player can have some touch at the line here.
Yeah, talking to Ladd earlier this week, he really didn't know how he wanted to approach this game. He didn't know if he was going to go, do I double team her? Do I make sure that no one else has a great game? And it looks like they're just going to be as aggressive as possible with Cecily.
1 for 2 there at the line.
Nolensville, you expect, is going to hold the ball a lot tonight. They want to win the possession battle, make sure that the ball is not in Brandamore's hands, especially after a night against Oakland like she had.
Johnson takes a strong drive, but no good. Hits the bottom of the backboard. Just got too caught up in the lane there and got out of position there, lost some court awareness. Brandamore looking on the inside, dishes out. That's going to be a turnover.
Yeah, sloppy play from both teams so far. Both teams not really thinking with every decision. 4 for the Admirals so far, only 0 for the Knights. So it's going to be an interesting game to see how Nyla Johnson can kind of facilitate this court and see how she's going to make Henson Crunk really have a problem on defense. Surprising
to see that the Admirals are going with a full court pressure look, playing man all the way down. Nolensville drops 2 there, brings the score within 2. Miller back to Forrest, Forrest back to Miller. Brandamore hits the tip pass. 3-point shot is up and no good by Taylor Ward. Nolensville on the rebound. Turnover, easy 2 points for Cecily Brandamore.
Yeah, and that's the storyline coming in tonight. What can Brandamore do on offense and how is she going to take those hard shots? Ladd talked about it a lot this week. He forces Brandamore into hard shots, and she just hits them anyway. As Franklin gets the steal, that's number 4, Mary Hinson Crunk coming down, misses it. Brandamore goes for another one, and she's fouled. 2 shots for Brandamore coming up.
Early in the first quarter, Brandamore's already drawn 2 fouls on the inside. So she's going to have shot 4 free throws already to start the game here.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like that's what Nolensville is looking for. They don't want to let her get those easy buckets. They want to make her work for it, and at 6'4", you really don't have to work for it if you're going for a post hook.
Well, and it's working because she's 1 for 3 from the line right now.
Yeah, the only problem this creates for the Knights now, foul trouble will be a problem later in the game, especially if it gets to their players like Josie Ladd and Nyla Johnson.
Again, Admirals with the pressure. Addie Harris checks in, Harris to Johnson. And this is a problem when you have that pressure look. A little tough down low, no call.
Yeah, it looked like Maul kind of rushed that shot, really didn't need to take that. Nyla Johnson probably could have taken that herself, but this Nolensville team is going to play hard.
Brandamore starting to dominate inside. She's already got 6 points on the night.
Yeah, an underrated part of Brandamore's game is that mid-range ability. She is so strong from the top of the key and even from the free throw line.
So Franklin content with giving up the fast break looks, but Nolensville to this point has not been able to capitalize. They stretch their lead 9-2, again with Brandamore dropping 6 here early in the first quarter.
Yeah, Nolensville going to look toward Josie Ladd a lot tonight. She's averaging 9.3 points on the season. She is such a strong player as she inbounds the ball, looking for someone, has no one. Goes to Addie Harris. Harris looking for someone to go to. It's another steal for Franklin.
Molly Forrest gets it away from Josie Ladd. Pushes the ball down court. Perry Miller out to Taylor Ward. Ward looks back to Miller. Inside to Brandamore. She's double teamed. Ladd got the block. That's going to, looked like that may have tipped off Nolensville, but the ref says nope.
Yeah, Ladd really going to be the best matchup for Brandamore tonight. 6'1", Ladd comes in. She's going to try to do everything she can to block the shots of Brandamore when she goes for those post hooks like we just saw.
Nolensville looks a little not sure what they want to do when they're inbounding with this Franklin pressure. Inside look to Ladd. Ladd in and out, can't get it to fall. That was a good look, though.
Yeah, something we haven't seen a lot this season. Nolensville's not being able to take their opportunities. They're being given so many, and they've missed, 3-4 open layups so far? Really surprising to see from the Knights so far.
They just don't look settled, I guess, is the word I would use. They're being rushed down court, all kinds of pressure, and that's going to be a no-look pass because they weren't looking for it. Goes out of bounds. Admirals will turn it over there, and Ladd wants a timeout, and I think it's what I suspect. I don't know that they pressured them this much last time, and even on the inbounds pass, they don't look they have a play set, and they're just trying to look for the open person. They've had fast break opportunities, Jacob, but they haven't capitalized on any of them.
Yeah, and Franklin does a really good job on defense. They've struggled on offense a little bit this season, but they do so well. Brandamore, 18 rebounds in that game against Oakland. She has done so well to facilitate the glass, and taking that away from Nolensville is going to be so strong, because if you don't let Nolensville get those second chance points after some of those missed layups, they're not going to score anything tonight.
Well, the story has been so far, Cecily Brandamore, what can they do to stop her? You can't put her on the line all night. I mean, she's been twice in the first period already.
Yeah, you look at Coach Ladd, it looks like he's telling them to be even more physical than what they've been so far. Franklin's come out super physical, full court press. Is Nolensville going to start doing that same thing? Nolensville has a lot of versatility on the defensive side. That's something Coach Ladd has had pride for in this team.
Well, and the offense is going to run from Molly Forrest through Cecily Brandamore. And so we're going to see if they're going to start pressuring like Franklin is doing. And so here again, fast break, and Nyla Johnson just wide open.
Yeah,
that'll break the pressure pretty quick if they keep that up.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what Franklin's looking for. They're trying to get those quick steals and just making sure that Nolensville doesn't have a chance. As
there you go, Nyla Johnson, 4 quick points, brings the score 9-6.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to start pressuring now up the court. They're going to play with the aggression, and Johnson goes for another steal there.
Nolensville with the block. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be Brennan Rigsby on the block.
Yeah, Rigsby not necessarily the strongest offensive player for the Knights, but she is such a strong point on this defense. She is not the biggest, but she has a way of getting steals and getting blocks that she needs.
Miller to inbound out to Forrest. Forrest looks no good. Dishes the ball out. Inside to Brandon Moore. Triple teamed on the inside. You're not going to get a pass through that. Nyla Johnson drives again. Miller, tight D, inside. Good look. Can't get the ball to fall. Forrest on the rebound, and she's going to push it up.
Yeah, it looks like Nolensville's struggling with their shot selection so far. They're kind of taking whatever is given to them instead of making it for themselves. They can't really get open. It's been tough shots only so far besides those fast breaks.
Brandon Moore on the spin move, and two. Making it look too easy on the inside there.
Yeah,
She's got
simply
8
nothing
points
you can do about
on the
that.
night. Addie Harris drives the lane on Brandon Moore. Air ball goes up. Gets it back in play. Back out to Harris. Harris looking. Dishes inside. That shot's up and no good. Josie Ladd on the rebound. Can't fall. Brandon Moore rebounds and gets it out, but just 0 for 4 right there on that offensive possession.
And that's what we talked about, getting those second chance points. They had the opportunity. Brandon Moore didn't get the rebound, and they still missed 3 more layups. That is where there's going to be a problem for Nolensville, because if they can't take advantage of the second chance points that they get, it's not going to happen tonight.
Perry Miller drives up and gets absolutely mugged on the play. All ball the call. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay here on this side of the court for Franklin. Miller looking to inbound. Quick pass inside. Spin move looks good. 13-6. So the Knights chipped away for a second, but here we go. Franklin fires right back and pushes the lead back to 7.
Yeah, and Franklin's a relatively young team. Besides Brandon Moore, besides Ward, they are predominantly juniors and sophomores. Allie King, who just got that score there, that's a sophomore, as Nyla Johnson puts up a 3, and that's good for Johnson.
Nyla Johnson clutch on the 3. Brings the lead to 4 for the Admirals.
Yeah, and that's how they're going to win this game tonight. It's going to be through Nyla Johnson. Josie Ladd has been a strong point with 20 against Ravenwood the other night, but Johnson's going to be the one tonight to do it.
Well, and you really saw on the fast break when she broke, and it was a 3-on-1. Brandon Moore, not just a post player, drops a 3, pushes it back to 7. Nyla Johnson with the possession. Back to her in a moment.
Yeah, watching Brandon Moore pre-game, I only saw 1 miss from the three-point line. Johnson puts up a deep 3, no good.
Off the front of the rim, Addie Harris on the rebound. Brandon Moore on the block, stays here. So back to Nyla Johnson. On the fast break, her speed, Franklin looked like they were standing still. So if they can get her the ball out in space, she's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it looks like Nolensville wants to push the pace tonight. They want to be the faster team because Franklin wants to slow it down and let Brandon Moore cook.
Out of bounds again, 3.2 seconds left to go. That's going to be Franklin's ball. Molly Forrest looking to inbounds, make something happen here. 16-9 is your first period score. Forrest drives down, looks, throws it up, off the glass, no good. Quick first period there. Franklin Admirals take a commanding 16-9 lead. More to come here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, honestly, a surprising start for some people to see. I mean, 10-13 so far this season for the Admirals, 3-2 in the district. Nolensville looking to win the district outright with a win tonight, and they've just started slow. This team wants to push the pace. They want to be the faster and more agile team, and that's not what they're doing right now. And they look kind of lost on those inbounds.
Well, they're going to definitely have to set up some plays to inbound, but they just have to settle down. And it's like what Coach Ladd said. Let's get back to the basics. Let's not make errant passes. And really, so many missed opportunities down low were just shot after shot up and nothing going in. And so if they can just get some of those to start hitting, they're right back in the game.
Yeah, and this is a team that's ranked 8th in the state for girls basketball. So this is a team we know can bounce back. We know adversity is not going to push them down. But a 7-point deficit to start the second quarter in a shocking turn of events can be a little demoralizing for a team.
Well, and it's easier said than done, too, to get those points down low, because down low you have 6'4" Cecily Brandamore there, looking to get some blocks and rebounds.
Yeah, and she's done that so far for sure.
So second period almost underway. Official blows the whistle, got some kind of stoppage here. All right.
Ladd been the main inbounder tonight to Johnson. Johnson's going to look to use that speed in the half-court offense.
Inside the Ladd. Ladd takes her two, dishes back out. Johnson looking to drive the lane, dishes out, no good. Good ball movement here. Looking for the better shot selection. Johnson drives and drops. She got the shooter's roll there, and she's got, I believe, 8 points now on the night to get her, or correction, 9 points with the three to get her night rolling. 9 of 11 points for the Nolensville Knights.
Yeah, and I think that's what Ladd wanted to see happen. He wanted to let Johnson take over this game, make threes, get those quick points in transition. And you see her explosivity is so quick. She's so explosive with the ball, and it's going to be tough for Molly Forrest to keep up tonight.
Inside to Brandamore. Brandamore dishes it out to Forrest. Forrest looking, takes the three off the front of the rim, no good. Nolensville on the rebound. Johnson and Franklin has dipped away from the pressure, and they settle back in on D. Johnson drives. Good ball movement now for the Knights. Drives the lane, calls the foul. It's going to be ball going to the line after a hard. Could have gone either way there, offensively or defensively. But Maul shooting too.
Maul, the 5'8" senior, shooting 40% from the field goal this season. She's been really impressive. She's stepped up when Johnson and Ladd don't have the ball, and that's a really key piece. She knows her role on this team, and she plays that perfectly.
0 for 1 here on the first shot. Shooting her second shot here. Second shot in and out. Brandamore on the rebound.
We're going to hear that a lot tonight. Brandamore had 18 rebounds the other night, and she's going to keep that pushing. She's trying to take every second chance away from these Knights.
Brandamore drops another two, lead back to 7.
Really not much the Knights can do there. They had all their hands up.
Triple teams.
They're being physical, and Brandamore's just making tough shots, and that's what Ladd talked about.
Not a lot of roster adjustment here for the Admirals, going with the same starting 5 that they came out with in the beginning of the game, and they've played the majority of the minutes. Miller takes it up. Inside to Brandamore. Josie Ladd on the block. They're letting them play underneath there, Jacob.
Yeah, it is some really aggressive defense we've seen in the paint. I think they have to when you have someone like that. And Johnson hits another three.
Johnson sinks a 3, cuts the lead to 4. Nolensville so far firing back in this second period.
Yeah,
back and forth we go.
Franklin doing everything they can to pull away, and Johnson will not let them. 12 out of 14 points for the Knights have come from Nyla.
She's trying to steal this Brandamore spotlight here on her home court. Johnson's got 12 points in the first half.
Yeah, Brandamore has expected 13 so far. Really not as surprising, but to see Johnson taking over this game and really commanding this offense is so impressive as she checks out now.
2 for 3 from the three-point line is Johnson. 2 big threes, too, to bring them back. 2-possession game here for the Knights. Brandamore just barrels her way into the lane and drops 2.
Yeah, and she missed that first layup, and you see where her height really comes in. She gets the rebound. She just shoots it over them. There's really no defense that Nolensville can do to stop that from happening.
Ladder counterpoint stands at 6'1", but kind of a different type of player. Ladd's a little bit more well-rounded, can back up from the 3, and Brandamore's done it too, but I think it's more part of Ladd's repertoire. She can bring the ball up court. She's a good ball handler. So similar height, but 2 different styles, and you're not going to really see Ladd down low too often because she does work the perimeter pretty well. Yeah,
Ladd's more of a guard archetype in the way she plays. She's got the 6'1" figure, but she facilitates the court. She is a guard at heart, really.
Turnover there to Addie Harris. Gets the ball, slows it down. Looking for some space, gets it across court. Stops and pops. Got to steal the points and gets on defense, just like Coach tells her to do. Lead back to 4 for the Admirals.
That is a fantastic play from Harris there. She notices that Brandamore is sitting, waiting for a block in the paint, and she pulls off that mid-range. That is an incredible shot, and what a quick decision she made to do that.
Yep, stopped and popped from about 10 feet away. And again, brings the lead to just 4. Turnover on the Admirals. We'll see if Nolensville can cut this to 1 possession here. And this game feels like it's flying by, Jacob.
Yeah, really no stoppages so far. And you know this Nolensville team is waiting for Johnson to check in as she goes over to the scoreboard and getting ready to check in at the next stoppage.
Harris out to Ladd. Ladd with the 3. That I thought was going to be in. No good. Shot up. No good. Ladd looking for space. Gets it out up top to Harris.
I think we're going to see Brandamore checking out pretty soon. She looks pretty tired out there, not moving too much on to get rebounds. So that's a good layup from Molly Forrest.
Forrest with the steal on the ill-advised cross-court pass and takes it all the way down and drops 2 on the Knights. Stretches the lead back to 6.
The Knights doing really everything they can to try to get back into this game. It's just not working.
Ladd calls for the screen, doesn't get it, dishes it back out.
A lot of these Franklin
good
stars
look by Ladd inside, shots up, no good. Ladd puts it back, no good. Rebound Nolensville up, no good. And Brandamore finally says enough of this and gets the rebound and gets it outside.
And it's really the same thing we've been talking about, missing those free chances. That gets them back into 4. There's a couple other chances that they could be up right now if they're making these simple layups. Even with Brandamore in the paint, they should be making some of these.
Brandamore shoots back from 3. Probably not her best shot selection there. Officials found their whistle there.
Brandamore still yet to check out in this first half, along with a couple other Franklin starters.
Yeah, good bit of the starters. Forrest and Brandamore have definitely logged some minutes.
Yeah, I bet they're looking forward to halftime. 2 minutes and 30 remaining in this first half. Franklin 22, Nolensville 16. As Nyla Johnson checks back in for the Knights, looking to take over again and get this Nolensville team back to a tie.
Good pass inside to Johnson. Johnson pumps it out for the 3. Good. 23, Ella Claire Tharp knocks it down and brings it back to a 1-possession game, 22-19.
Tharp has been such an important factor for this Knights team. She's only averaging 8 minutes a game as Johnson gets a steal. Johnson looking for a layup, and she gets blocked and fouled by Brandamore.
Tell you what, you might want to check the SRO because she's going to get arrested for pickpocket in there. That was clean. Gets it down court. Maybe a little bit of a touchy foul there on the end, but in any case, Johnson's going to go to the line and shoot 2.
I think her 3rd or 4th steal on the night.
Knocks down the first one, and the Knights, for the first time in a long time, have brought the game to within 2.
Yeah, something to note, Forrest finally checking out for the Admirals in this first half.
Sinks her second one just like that, not even a touch of the rim. 1-point ball game all of a sudden, Jacob, here as we get to the 2-minute mark of the second period.
Yeah, and we talked pre-game. We talked about how this was going to be a really good game. I know the first one was not necessarily as close as we expected, but this has been a great game so far.
Well, I think both coaches have said the officials are letting us play, so let's amp it up a little bit because it has definitely been aggressive on both sides of the ball tonight.
Yeah, this paint is not somewhere I want to be right now. It is really aggressive. Brandamore
Molly
running
Forrest
a football
throws
route.
the Hail Mary to Brandamore.
Brandamore now 17 on the night.
Harris tries to go in strong, dishes it out. That had turnover written all over it, whether it be a walk or a ill-advised pass, and it was the latter.
Yeah, and there is so much aggression right now. This paint is so physical. And that's what Franklin kind of was looking for, but it's really what Nolensville wanted. They wanted to force Brandamore into an uncomfortable position, and she hasn't really looked uncomfortable so far.
Brandamore pops from about 13 feet away and drains it.
Yeah, and that's one of the best parts of her game. She can hit those fadeaways. She can hit those spin moves. It is so impressive. She blocks Johnson. Now a steal. Got back by the Knights. Is stolen again by Forrest. Franklin slowing the game down now. Nolensville doing anything they can to try to get back into this game, getting the lead down to 5 now for the Knights.
Johnson trying to push it up. Dishes it out for the three. Three ball goes up, bounces out, and no good. Harris on the rebound.
And look at the physicality in this game. I mean, that is called in a lot of games, but it's not being called tonight, and these refs are really letting them play as Ladd and Rigsby check back in for the Knights.
You know, I will say Ladd has been more liberal with his substitutions than has the Admirals, and so we're going to see if that catches up to them in the fourth quarter. Foul on, looks like maybe Molly Forrest.
Johnson,
that's going to send Johnson the line to shoot 2. 35 seconds left here in the half.
Looking for 16 points in this first half compared to Brandamore's 19 so far.
Misses her first one.
Johnson already getting an offer from Tennessee Tech as just a junior. She is such an impressive player for this team. 16 points per game at 5'9". She's the first 1,000-point scorer for this Nolensville team this season.
Drops 2 there. Big Ofer on the free throw line. Josie Ladd goes up and under, no good. Air ball, rebound, no good. Ladd, no good. And again, just missed opportunities there under the glass for the Lady Knights.
The Knights could really have a strong lead right now, and they've missed. That might be the 4th time tonight we've seen them take over 3 layups and missed all 3 in a row.
I think they're just trying to pad their offensive rebound stats, Jacob. But you're supposed to pad them and then score.
Yeah, Brandamore not padding her defensive rebound stats as much as I would have expected. Ladd has been really physical so far this game.
Wide open is Franklin for the 3. No good off the front of the rim. 4 seconds left. Forrest looking for a basket at the end. No good, and that's going to be the halftime score. The Lady Admirals 26, Lady Knights 21. Your WCTV Game of the Week, Doug Capella, Jacob Hammer. We'll be back after the half. right, here we are back at the break. Doug Capella with Jacob Hammer. Pretty action-packed first half there, kind of what we expected to see from both sides. Nyla Johnson for Nolensville and Cecily Brandamore for the Admirals pretty much doing the large majority of the scoring.
Yeah, Brakefield gets one in there. Johnson taking over that first half, and we saw 14 points for her, but they came quickly. She was moving the pace, and she had 4 points in the span, I think 8 seconds in that first half. She's going to really try to push the game as fast as she can and get those quick points.
Turnover, Nolensville looking to close the gap. Offensive call on the Lady Knights, Nyla Johnson.
Johnson really such a star player for this Knights team. The way she drives to the basket is so impressive. She has some of the best explosiveness I've seen from a women's basketball player ever.
Forrest takes it to the length of the court, dishes to Brandamore. Brandamore can't get it to fall. Ladd with the rebound. Pushing it up court is Ladd.
Ladd in this second half is going to really have to come alive. We want to see her on the perimeter getting a lot of looks. She didn't get a ton of looks from the perimeter. They couldn't really spread out this offense. That's what they're going to try to do in the second half because Johnson's really the only one taking over right now.
Ladd inbounds to Johnson. Johnson drives, wide open lane there, no good. Foul on the play. Johnson's going to go back to the line.
Yeah, and that was an easy and one opportunity. We've seen this from the Knights all night long. So many missed layups, so many missed second chances. It's really becoming an issue for this Knights team. They could probably be winning by about 10 right now if they had made all of them.
Johnson a little streaky from the free throw line. Made her first two, missed her second two.
Johnson, an 1,000-point scorer for this Knights team, averaging over 16 points per game so far this season. She has been so good for the Knights, and that not only comes from her three-point shooting, but the way she drives to the basket is quicker and faster than anyone else in this county.
First shot for Johnson up and no good. Too strong on the free throw.
Struggling
trying to
from
cut
the free
the
throw
lead.
line tonight.
Oh, sorry, Jacob. Cutting each other off here. Makes her second. That's going to pull the Knights back within two.
Franklin really doing everything they can to pull away in this game, and Nolensville is not letting it happen. Johnson keeping her team in the game so far.
Inside to Brandamore. Brandamore spins, dishes to Forrest. Forrest drops the two. Lead back to 4 for the Admirals. Knights looking to push it.
Yeah, Forrest and Brandamore, two players that did not sub out at all in that first half, so that was a much-needed halftime rest for them. It's gonna
Long
be interesting.
three for Nolensville, no good.
Interesting shot selection for the Knights. I mean, that's a deep three that we don't see Maul take a lot. They're playing aggressive.
Oh, quick rebound with Maul. Maul showing the Jets full court. Down and fouled, but misses the lay-in. That would have been a good and one conversion. But in any regard, Maul flies down the court.
Yeah, Maul and Johnson, the two quicker players of this Knights team, the way that they explode off of getting the ball is so impressive. But it's another instance of the missed layup that we've seen tonight.
Maul makes her first one. Net doesn't even move on the shot. Pulls within one possession, down by 3. An interesting note here, Admirals back in with their starting lineup. Their starters have played a large portion of this game tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that comes to fruition in this fourth quarter. Luckily for them, it's been a really quick game, I feel. That first half went by like this, so maybe they're not going to be as tired as we expect, but we know what Brandamore can do at all times.
Forrest thinks about it from the 3, decides to drive, goes lane, opens up and drops 2 on him. The Knights just have not been able to bring it even, and they've gotten close. But again, lead is to 4.
And that's a play we've seen from Franklin a lot tonight. They drive quick and they get wide open baskets as Brakefield puts in the basket for an easy 2.
Testing out the paint are each sides here, and it's been wide open both times. 2 easy drives for Forrest and Brakefield.
Nothing so far for Brandamore for these Admirals, as Forrest gets another easy 2 wide open in the paint.
Just back and forth right now, both sides unable to go on a run here.
Forrest 8 points on the night so far. Johnson for the Knights getting ready to check in, sitting and waiting.
Foul on Maul. Quick turnover there for the Knights. Harrison Johnson checking back in.
2 explosive players for this Knights team. They really do well to keep the pace up, and that's something the Knights need to do right now, because when this game is going slow is when Brandamore has the easy chance to take over.
Forrest pushing the tempo here. Loses control, gets it out. Inside. Perry Miller drops 2, pushes the lead now to 6 for the Lady Admirals. Quick drive, Maul kicking it in the second gear again.
Yeah, and Brandamore really hasn't been a problem so far in this second half. She's letting her other teammates work. Forrest has been so strong so far. She's playing the point guard, and they're really doing anything they can to limit Brandamore on the defensive side for the Knights.
Correction, last basket was Rigsby, not Maul.
Nolensville doing anything they can to not let this game get out of hand. Cicely, her 21st points of the night. She has been such a problem for this Knights defense, and her height is the main factor there. 3 players on her there, and it's still an easy basket, and that's made every single time. And so that's something Ladd talked about a lot this week, that he knows how to force Brandamore into these tough shots, but she's just going to make them. There's nothing he can do about it.
She looked like she may have traveled on that one, but no call on the play. Drops the 2, and that's going to push the lead again to 6. Back and forth we go in the third period. Nolensville really just trying to look for a run opportunity here to get some points.
Yeah, the Lady Admirals averaging 48.3 points per game on this season, looking to get a big win over the undefeated in district Nolensville Lady Knights. So far, a 6-point lead for Franklin, 36 Franklin, 30 Nolensville.
Franklin, interestingly, with a quick timeout there. We'll see what Coach wanted to talk about as we break here and the game resumes.
Yeah,
Ladd's going to inbound.
Coach Ladd talked a lot this week about how his team was getting a little too comfortable at the top of the helm in the district, and you're kind of seeing that play out tonight. They don't look as quick as we've seen this year in a lot of their blowout games, especially in that game where they beat this Franklin team by a lot.
Johnson drives, looks for the foul. No, nothing there. Lady Admirals take over, and they're looking to push the floor. Crunk thinks better about it, dishes it inside to Brandamore, and it's a staying here, rolled off of, I think, all of their fingertips down underneath. Ball will remain with Franklin. Miller to inbound.
Hinson Crunk, not really a name we've mentioned a ton tonight, but she has been so important. The way that she has facilitated the offense and moved the ball around has been so crucial for this Franklin team.
Inside to Brandamore, looking to convert the N1. Ball doesn't drop. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. You know, I really thought fouls would be a problem early on because she made quite a few trips to the foul line early in the first quarter, but not so much as the game progressed.
Yeah, it kind of looked like the refs started to change their mind on what they considered a foul. The game got a lot more physical, a lot more aggressive from those first couple minutes of the first quarter, and this has been a very physical game, one of the more physical games I think I've seen this season.
Brandamore makes her first, pushes the lead back to 7, makes her second. So the biggest lead for the Admirals here this side of the second period, 38-30. Knights looking and needing a spark here.
Yeah, the Knights are going to need some big shots if they want a chance in this second half, and I think that a lot of that's going to come from Ladd as she puts one in.
Yep, just like that on the call. Right there inside the paint, Ladd goes up, drops two, cuts it to 2 possessions, 38-32.
Yeah, when Ladd's in the paint, she's really more of a finesse player. She doesn't have that big power, but she's got those spin moves. Brandamore puts up a 3, and it's good for Brandamore from 3.
6'4" Brandamore drops it over 6'1" Ladd.
26 points for Brandamore tonight.
Inside the Ladd. Ladd stops, pops, drops. That's what they needed there. And one for Josie Ladd. Going to go to the line and shoot one. Try to get those 3 points back that Brandamore just dropped on him.
Ladd, a name that Nolensville wants to hear a lot more in this second half. She wasn't super present in that first half, and things like this, getting an and one like that, is really going to push the momentum that Nolensville desperately needs.
Drops the shot, cuts the lead now back down to 6. Looked like it came off the Admiral player, but official says no.
Nolensville getting a little more aggressive on defense. As this game's gone on, they started with no press, then to a half-court press, and now a full-court press for the Knights, doing anything they can to stop the Franklin momentum and not let Brandamore get even more hot than she is.
Double team on Forrest. Offensive call there as Forrest gets frustrated and shoves away the Nolensville defender.
Yeah, careless turnover for Franklin there. Not exactly what they want to see, but a little bit of a cushion as Franklin has 41, Nolensville 35, a 6-point lead for the Admiral so far at home.
Johnson with the height correction. Brakefield drops 2. I was looking down low. They had Josie Ladd being guarded by number 24 for the Admirals, or correction, 21, Chloe Pittman, and that was a height mismatch in Ladd's favor, but in any regard, Brakefield drops to 2.
Yeah, really impressive stuff from Brakefield. She's so crucial on the back on a baseline drive, and that's going to be blocked. She's going to tip that one from Brandamore right on cue. Ladd bringing the ball up the court, looking for anything she can. Takes a 3. No good.
In and out. That's just an example of Brandamore really trying to do too much. Shot wasn't there. She spun and faded away from the basket, and clearly shot was short.
Yeah, Brandamore had a fantastic first half, off to a slower start in the second half, but that big 3 really pushed the momentum for Franklin so far.
Brakefield on the block.
Brakefield having quite the second half. We've called her name a lot so far, and she's just been so productive for this Knights team. She's had such a strong paint presence as Brandamore puts up a 3, and it's good again for Brandamore. 6'4" with her 3rd 3 of the night.
Really just showing her all-around game. Wasn't happy probably with her shot selection on the last possession. Much better shot selection there. Was open, took the 3. And I'll tell you what, she has got a soft touch. Johnson gets blocked out at the 3, gets it back and then drives the lane, cuts the lead to 5 for the Admirals. And again, what a back and forth third period for these two squads.
I think that play right there perfectly depicted both of those players' game. Johnson goes for the 3, gets blocked by the 6'4" Brandamore, and she drives in using her explosiveness to get into the paint and makes a tough layup.
And doesn't give up on the play, which is to her credit. Just the grit that Johnson's played with all season. Number 3 on the steal, that's going to be Reese Mall, and then she's forced out of bounds and calls the foul. Addie Harris checks in for Josie Ladd.
5-point lead for the Admirals, 14.3 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Nolensville doing anything they can to get back in this game, and it's going to be run through Johnson and Ladd. Ladd just checked out. Looks like Johnson's going to get the final shot tonight.
Shot drops for the Lady Knights. What a way to close out the third period. Brings it to 1 possession, 41-44 in favor of the Admirals. It's going to be an action-packed fourth period here on your Game 1 of your WCTV Game of the Week.
Yeah, what an incredible third quarter that was. Such a high-scoring third quarter. A lot of offense, a lot of steals. Really good play from both teams. Very interesting to see how they've both adjusted at halftime. Looks like Nolensville's getting even more aggressive than they were to end that first half.
Well, and the role players really for Nolensville stepping up in the absence of your Josie Lads and your Nyla Johnsons. Of course, Johnson's going to get her points, but the third period, Brakefield and Mall really stepped up to fill in when the others went cold, and that's why this game sits at a 3-point deficit and not much more.
Yeah, Franklin has a Miss Basketball finalist, so Nolensville's really doing everything they can to stop her. At 6'4", that is not easy to stop. Josie Ladd, their tallest player, 6'1". She's done a great job at defending when she can and also making shots when she needs to.
So the Admirals, looks like they're coming out with most of their original starting lineup with the exception of Perry Miller.
We see Mally Limbaugh, the freshman for the Admirals, checking in. She's gotten a lot of late game minutes as this season's gone on, and she's been really good in these fourth quarters.
And just like that, she gets the ball.
I don't know if I've seen Forrest or Brandon check out at all this game. I think they've played the entire game.
Brandon looking inside, dishes it out to Forrest. Forrest for the three, off and no good. Rebound Nolensville. Nolensville's going to have the pressure, gets it out to Johnson. Johnson's going to push the floor. Thinks better of it, gets it back out. Three goes up, three is good, tie ball game. Fours across the board, 44-44. Nolensville answers the bell here in the fourth period, and just like that, it's back 0-0, fresh ball game here.
Nolensville looking for their first lead of the night. Started the game off with a 9-2 deficit to Franklin and been crawling their way back ever since. And that is such a big shot from Rigsby. She stepped up so much in the second half, and we really didn't hear her name a lot in that first half.
Shots up and blocked, foul on Brakefield. And so the freshman, double threes, it's going to be Mally Limbaugh going to the line and shooting two.
Looking for her first points of the night. She's been really crucial in a lot of these fourth quarter situations.
Knocks her first one down. Admirals take the lead again. Second shot up, no good. Brandamore gets the rebound. Shot is up and good. Lead back to three for the Lady Admirals.
Brandamore just doesn't miss those tough shots. Her 57 points against against Oakland, were the most amount of points scored for Franklin High School since 1953. Last woman to do it was a woman named Sue Johnson back in the 50s.
Turnover on the Admirals. Knights giving high pressure look here and doing just that, trying to force turnovers.
6 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. An incredible game. Franklin with a 3-point lead, 47-44 against the visiting Knights.
You know, the tough thing about that high intense pressure is it really does gas you, and you could see it on Johnson's face. She was gassed. Foul call there.
Yeah, really impressive to see this Franklin starting lineup out and not looking that gassed. I mean, Brandamore hasn't checked out at all this game. Neither has Forrest, and they both look like the two strongest players on this team. It's been so impressive to see how they've kind of kept their composure and endurance throughout this match.
Well, I will say Brandamore used to be a cross-country runner. I'm not sure if she still does or not, but she doesn't look like she's winded whatsoever, and she's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, she played volleyball in her high school career. She also is playing flag football this year. Really a multi-sport athlete. She is really impressive in what she's done so far this year.
Johnson looking, steps back, thinks better of it, gets it out. Inside the Ladd. Ladd's going to challenge Brandamore, gets her off her feet and drops two. Uncharacteristic of Brandamore there, fell for the pump fake, and Ladd drops two on the big 6'4" center.
And that's exactly what the Knights needed in the second half. We didn't hear Ladd's name a lot in the first half. You wanted to hear it, and those are those finesse moves, the spin move, the pump fake. That's what she does best, and Brandamore gets an and one for the Admirals.
That's just too easy. I mean, she is just dropping basket after basket here on this Lady Knights inside paint. I mean, she has done it all over the floor. Foul line, 3-point, 10 feet, under the glass. You can see Missouri's got a good one.
She drains the free throw for her 34th point of the night, clearly leading the teams in scoring. She's been so impressive, and really Nolensville's had no stop for her. She's probably only missed 5 shots at most.
Lead back to 4 for the Admirals. Working it around are the Knights. Johnson looking for some space inside. Gets it off her hip. Ugly shot, but the result's good. 2 points. 1 possession ball game here as we just battle back and forth.
Nolensville will not go away. Franklin continuing to try to pull away, and Nolensville's not letting it happen. Every time Franklin gets a big shot and a lot of momentum, Nolensville gets it right back.
Johnson on the rebound. Foul here on the Admirals. Quick foul there on number 4, Henson Crunk.
Nolensville still looking for their first lead of the night, are yet to find that. Started off the game slow, going down 9-2. Really been a tough stretch for them, but they're sticking in it, and they're frustrating this Franklin team, and that's all they want to do, because realistically, only the final score matters.
They just won't go away, will the Knights, constantly scrapping back. Out to Johnson. Johnson's looking for the lead. In and out from 3. Back out to Johnson. Johnson out to Maul. Maul decides to drive, draws the foul, is going to go to the line and shoot 2, and has an opportunity to tie it up.
And that's the story of the game right there. Not making the wide open layups when they have them. The threat of Brandamore is making them miss a lot of these shots because they know she is there and she is waiting to block it.
First shot up and swish. Lead down 2-1.
Nolensville looking to tie up the game for the 2nd time tonight.
Second shot up and good. Game tied again. Timeout Nolensville, and this may just be Coach Ladd giving his girls a breather. And they have fought and fought and fought, and they're playing such a high-pressure defense. They just looked a little bit gassed. And he's just saying, girls, we got this. Relax.
Yeah, this game is 0-0 now. The game just started for these Knights. However, the Admirals haven't checked out all game. Brandamore Forest haven't checked out at all. This game is not really 0-0 for them. Nolensville looking to get any advantage they can, and I think the subs and the rotations that they've had this game is really going to help with that.
So just over 4 minutes here in your 4th period. You can't even really go get a snack because you're going to miss something. 50-50 here. Every bit of what we thought it would be. Franklin sneaky good with one of the better players in the state of Tennessee. And Nolensville coming in ranked 4th, and it has been nothing short of a battle.
Yeah, Nolensville averaging 54.6 points per game this season, approaching that number very quickly. 4 minutes remaining in this 4th quarter for this game. Franklin, Nolensville tied at 50. Brandamore looking to take over in this 4th quarter.
And they are just clearly doubling her.
Ball stays with the Admirals. Admirals looking to take another lead. They've been leading almost all of tonight. It's been really impressive. You see the Franklin student section starting to pile up. They're getting loud down there. There's a lot of momentum for this Franklin offense right now.
Well, and as good as Cecily Brandamore's been, you can't really hide either what Molly Forrest has done tonight as her wingman in this game, doing all the hustle work, fighting for the ball, and complimenting Cecily on her inside game. Really good job by Molly Forrest tonight.
Yeah, 8 points on the night so far for Forrest, but she's been so impressive. So many assists, so many rebounds. She's been so good as an aid to this Brandamore.
And there you have it, the Lady Knights. Ladd drops 2, first lead of the night for the Knights.
And I think we both knew it was going to be Ladd. Ladd has been so impressive in this second half. It has been so great to see the way she's kind of used her finesse and that height against the real 6'4" of Brandamore to get so many points in this 4th quarter. And finally, Nolensville gets the lead they've been begging for.
Johnson looking to extend it. Misses on the three. Brakefield on the rebound, dishes it out. Gets it back out to Maul. Maul stops, pops, rolls out. Can't get the shooter's roll. Back out to Johnson for another three. And that's good. Lead is 5 for the Knights. Franklin looks shook.
Johnson, 22 points on the night now. She has really taken over this game, and she's going to extend this Nolensville lead with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. She gets another steal. Johnson on the breakaway, looking for a layup. Pump fake, no good. Rebound, Johnson up, no good.
Brandemore rebound. Pandemonium here in the Lady Admirals court. Ball going back and forth. Turnover. Brandemore turns the ball over, and I think Nolensville just needs to settle it down. Just over 2 minutes to go. Lead pushed to 5, surprisingly, in this fourth period by the Knights. Perry Miller with a steal and timeout just in time as the ball was about to get stolen.
It looked like Nolensville has finally made Brandemore tired. She's finally looking like the fatigue is catching up to her after not sitting a single minute in this game besides timeouts and halftime. And I think that's exactly what this timeout's going to do for them. I think they're trying to rest their players for this last 2 minutes and 1 second as Nolensville has a 5-point lead.
Well, and for about a minute 30, the Lady Admirals just looked confused. The Knights were high pressure. You know, I just got done bragging on Molly Forrest, and she takes an ill-advised shot, shoots an air ball. And for about a minute and 30, they just looked like, what is happening right now? And so a good, well-timed timeout here on the Franklin Admiral staff. Lead is 5. Plenty of time left. But all that to say, it's going to be quite a 2-minute ball game here with the Lady Knights waiting until about the 3-minute mark of this game in the fourth period to take their first lead of the night.
And I think what we're seeing right now is exactly why these Lady Knights are 6-0 in district play and looking to clinch the district tonight, because they are their best when there is 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And I think that's exactly what they're trying to show right now.
And you just got to wonder if the minutes logged by these Admirals is going to start catching up with them here with these 2 minutes left.
Yeah, we've really seen like a 7-8 player rotation for these Admirals compared to the Knights, who have been rotating all night long.
I mean, and you might as well add blue to the uniform for the Admirals, because the Knights are that tight on defense. They are not giving up any acreage on this court.
Yeah, Nolensville's defense, something that Ladd talked a lot about this week, bragged on his team a lot, as Ladd gets a steal, looking for points, trying to extend this lead.
Maw thought better of it. I think they're now just going to try to burn some of this clock down.
Rigsby's been a real star in this second half of the Knights as we cut to Maul, no good. Rebound, Brandemore.
Great look by Josie Ladd underneath, had Maul break into the rim, pass right on the money, just could not convert the 2 points. Now Brandemore on the other end spins, gets the foul, but it's going to be on the floor, no shot.
Brandemore really not finding any more open looks. She doesn't have that quick step she had when this game started, and that's due to the minutes log. She's been playing this entire game. You cannot expect her to have that quickness.
Miller for the 3, no good. Johnson gets the rebound. Just above a minute here at 1:03. And Jacob, we're going to start getting into foul territory here for the Admirals, because the Lady Knights are going to look to burn some seconds off of this clock.
Yeah, the Admirals, not a ton of fouls this game. Really shouldn't have to worry about any foul outs. But you know exactly what they're trying to do, and they're hoping that this press is going to get them steals like it almost did there for Henson Crunk.
That really actually just bailed them out, because it looked like they were about to have a clock violation on the inbounds pass. And so the Admirals really bailed them out there. They tipped it and went out of bounds, and now the Lady Knights are going to take the ball on this side of the court.
Yeah, and this game's gone extremely fast so far, but I think we're going to see about the slowest minute we have ever seen after a very quick first 3 quarters.
Well, so the strategy there, of course, is let's get it to our free throw shooters, right? They're not going to inbound it to somebody who, or they're going to try not to. I would imagine they're going to try to get it to Nyla Johnson here on the inbounds pass, or Josie Ladd, unless she's the one throwing the inbounds pass. And so the strategy's clear here. Let's get it to our players, get them to the line, hit their shots, and we can go out of here with a win, says Coach Ladd.
And I think a really helpful piece for Coach Ladd is that all of his players are strong. He doesn't have any weak points on this team, so realistically, if they can't get the ball to Johnson, it goes to Mall, it goes to Rigsby. Those are two players that are going to make their free throws, and that takes a lot of stress off of the coach, but not only off the coach, but off of Josie Ladd as she inbounds the ball. She knows that she can go to anyone if Johnson's not open.
Well, and so we got 1 second over a minute here. 1:01 left to go. Ladd's going to inbound. And there's the break to Ladd to Johnson as expected. Under a minute now to go. Johnson drives, backs out.
Franklin not fouling so far. Rigsby with the ball back to Ladd.
Interesting decision here not to foul. And they turn it over. The not foul strategy works that time.
Another timeout. This one for Franklin. And you wonder who this ball is going to go to, who they want to take a three-point shot, because you know they need it. They're not going to. This game's not going to end with a win for Franklin if they just take twos, because otherwise they're going to have to foul at Nolensville and hope for the best.
Well, Jacob, to your point, I don't know if it's the who, it's the how. How do we get Brandamore either out for a three or inside open? And so they've had some pretty good luck throwing it up over the head of Josie Ladd or Addie Harris, whoever's down low. I don't know if they're going to go for the three right now. They're probably going to try to get a two or just get whatever the Nolensville defense gets them. But you can imagine Brandamore is going to be draped with Nolensville defenders.
Yeah, honestly, we might see another football route from Brandamore, just trying to get open in any way that she can, because this Franklin team needs the ball in her hands. She's been so strong for them all season, committed to Missouri, and she loves the post hook on these smaller players. So if she has to get in the paint, the post hook is exactly what she's going to go to.
Well, and you definitely don't want to foul her on a three-point shot. Let her shoot the shot. If it goes in, you still have a one-possession lead. Waste some time off the clock. What you can't do if you're the Admirals here is turn the ball over. You have to get points on this possession. Three is up by Crunk, no good. Out of bounds, and there's your turnover.
About the exact opposite of what I think the Admirals wanted to happen. The ball did not get in Brandamore's hands, and it resulted in a turnover, and it looks like they're going to have to foul the Knights now.
Ball does get inbounded. Brandamore just steals it. Forrest in for the shot, misses. Very uncharacteristic. It's getting a little tense here on the floor.
Shocking sequence of events there. I mean, we saw a very physical steal that was not called for any foul. And then we see the ball go to Forrest, probably the second best player for this Admirals team tonight. And they're going to miss a wide open layup to put this game within three. 25.8 remaining in the fourth quarter here.
And Breakfield's going to the line. So they are in the bonus, so every foul is going to put them on the line. First shot in. Jacob, I think if she drops this one, makes it a three-possession game. There's just not enough seconds left on the clock. This might be the nail in Franklin's coffin. And just like that, Breakfield clutch, converts both shots, 50-57.
Yeah, and I think you're exactly right there. As Rigsby gets a good steal for the Knights, that's going to be another foul.
Yeah, you're at 21 seconds now, and, your heart just breaks for Franklin. Played their hearts out all night. Brandamore out of her mind again, only to see the lead slip away in the waning minutes of the fourth quarter, rather. I mean, the Knights up by 8 at this point, but they were down by as many as, I believe, 12 at one point.
Yeah, Nolensville not getting their first lead until 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and now taking an 8-point lead with only 16 seconds as Ladd gets 2 more for the Knights and makes the lead 10, making this game look like it was a blowout.
Yeah, anything but. And Johnson there on the steal, and this is going to be the ball game. And so just like that, 62-50 is going to be your final score. The Knights just absolutely dominated the fourth period. And I think, Jacob, that's just an example of where you have age and experience coming in over a team that had 3 seniors, but only 2 of them on the court. And just the effort of Cecily Brandamore can't go unnoticed. I mean, what a dominant performance in a losing effort for the Admirals.
Yeah, 34 points for Brandamore. And Nolensville just clinched the district with that win. 7-0 in district play now, and they're sitting very pretty at the top of those standings.
All right, we're going to have some festivities here between games, so we'll sign off. But don't go around anywhere. We're going to come right back with the second half of our doubleheader here in boys action. The Nolensville Knights, Franklin Admirals, your WCTV games of the week.
Hammers here with Doug Capella, and we are at the Franklin Admirals Arena as they host the Nolensville Knights on this fine Thursday night.
Should be a good game. It's going to be tough to follow up the girls' performance from earlier in the evening. But two teams both sitting at 17-7, looking to make some waves and really, I think, get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, Franklin won the matchup the first time around by a score of 66-57. That was a great game. They're looking to keep that momentum going into a tough game against the Knights.
Kaiser moving it around, dishes outside. Admirals drive the lane. Buckets up and good. Hayden McClarty Sr. drops the first points of the night for the Admirals.
McClarty, the 6'4" man, 190 pounds. He is a big, physical guy for this Franklin team. He loves to get down in the paint and push his way through.
Good look inside, doesn't materialize in anything. McClarty again looking, bops it out to Kaiser. Kaiser drives, dishes outside back to McClarty, and McClarty drops another two. That's a quick four for the Admirals on the night.
Yeah, Marshall Frein, he's been really good so far this season, recently taking the starting role. His assist numbers are ridiculous, and he is so good at moving the ball around and facilitating this offense.
Correction, Kaiser is number 4, Marshall Friend, number 3.
Kaiser originally the starter in this offense. They've typically played with a Kaiser and Robinson backcourt. Not coming out with that look tonight. Jones getting the start along with Friend. Jones looking for a man.
McClarty thinks about it from the 3, decides better, pushes it back out. Friend looking. Back to Friend. Friend's going to drive. Dishes it out. Friend from the arc, no good. Admiral's going to retain possession on the rebound.
Yeah, that was Carson Vaughn on the rebound. He is one of the most athletic players on the court tonight. Holds the school record for the long jump for the Franklin Admirals. He is so good and so versatile. As Tyler Roberts puts up a 3, no good.
Gets the rebound. Roberts gets a second chance, shoots, and it's good. Admirals open up a 7-0 lead here over the Knights, coming out hot, similar to the Lady Admirals when they started out hot.
Yeah, Nolensville looks like they're sleeping out there. They're not moving the ball well. Johnson doesn't look like he's thinking too much about his passes, and that's a timeout for Nolensville already. 7-0 for the Admirals so far.
You know, the first period belonged to the Lady Admirals, and the first period so far is belonging to the boys. 7 quick points, and really nothing close to looking like a scoring opportunity for the Knights. Just coming out a little bit shook and rattled. This just must be a tough place to play, Mr. Hammer.
Yeah, Franklin voted one of the best student sections in recent times, actually. Have been super strong at forcing a lot of other teams to really mess up just due to their pure noise. But right now, this Nolensville team is looking strictly at Chris Johnson to get all their points. And they're going to need to use guys like B.J. Hall, Riley McKelvey, Brody Cooper. Those guys really need to step up. Coach Cadice is going to look to them a lot today. It's not just the Chris Johnson show.
And just like that inside to Johnson back out. Inside dish. Nice look there from Luke Carroll.
Yeah, Brody Cooper, one of the stronger players on this Knights team, played JV as a junior just last season, has become such a strong player for this offense and is really good at those backdoor cuts. It's something that this Knights team uses a lot. As that's a steal for Riley McKelvey. McKelvey goes up and gets the layup. Looked like he was going to dunk it. We did not get that luxury. The transfer from Centennial gets his first 2 points of the night.
Well, and just like that, the Knights pull back, 1 possession game, and they can score points in bunches. They have the capability to do that. Very athletic front court, And you just saw that on that fast break with McKelvey, drop 2, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, talked to Gedice this week. Talked his keys to winning this game was focusing on guard penetration. He needed his guards, B.J. Hall, Brody Cooper, Luke Carroll. He needed those guys to get penetration and be able to force this Franklin team into tough looks. As number 3, Marshall Freund for the Admirals gets an easy 2 points.
Friend challenging Johnson there on the take and was successful with the left hand. Shot is up by McKelvey, no good. Admirals wanted an offensive call on that drive, did not get it. Dish is outside, no good. Johnson on the rebound.
This Knights team on defense has been very sloppy. A lot of open looks for the Admirals, unfortunately for them, not hitting. But if that keeps up, this is not going to be sustainable for this Knights defense.
Carroll, good look again, hits number 5, B.J. Hall, who drops the 2. 9-6 is your score in what's been a very, very fast-paced first quarter.
Hall still working through his return from injury. His first game back was that Nolensville-Ravenwood game we called just a couple weeks ago.
Friend from 3, stops and pops. Friend is on fire. He is not a friend of the Knights, I can tell you right now. He's already got 7 points on the night.
Yeah, not starting this season as a starter, coming into that role, and it's become so strong. That's a steal for number 11, Conrad Jones for the Admirals, looking to get it probably back to front and let him take another 3.
Carroll backs down. Johnson looks for the block. Carroll gets the rebound. Surveys the court, looking, decides to go strong, dishes it out. 3 is up, 3 is no good. Rebound Admirals.
Yeah, and that last Admirals possession was a clear representation of what McClarty likes to do on this offense. He gets in the paint and he forces guys like Luke Carroll that are smaller than him to just get out of his way, and he gets easy layups and easy buckets doing that.
12-6 is your score in what has been a NASCAR racetrack first quarter. McKelvey looking, gets a quick double team, backs off.
McClarty, the 6'4" senior, guarded by Chris Johnson. Johnson's been a great defender so far this season, but has struggled on rebounding when he plays guys like McClarty that are just bigger and stronger in some aspects.
Knights tighten it up on defense. Roberts looks from the corner, no shot. McClarty's gonna look to settle it down from the top.
One thing Gedice talked about a lot this week was the versatility that his team can have on defense. They're gonna have to switch up a lot as McClarty gets a nice spin move and stolen by B.J. Hall.
McClarty had a good drive and it got pickpocketed right at the last second. Carroll picks up the loose change and is tripped, and there's a call on the floor.
B.J. Hall on that steal. He has been so impressive for this Knights team. He does such a great job at not necessarily being the biggest guy, but the most agile, and he works his way in there so well as Nick Lunn for the Admirals, the 6'7" junior, checks in.
So mass substitutions on both sides. Total of about 6 players swap out.
The Admirals doing something very different to how their girls team went, where their starters played almost the entire game. We saw how that caught up to them late.
Hall shoots a long 3, no good. Kaiser on the rebound, looking up court, see what he can do.
Robinson and Kaiser, one of the strongest backcourts in the county. Coach Tigert really likes them specifically because Robinson's left-handed and Kaiser's right-handed, and he's used that to help his versatility so much in the backcourt. He's been super excited about using both of these guys at the same time.
Big 6'7" Nick Lunn has checked into the game as well. Kaiser off the turnover, shoots the 3, no good. Robinson on the rebound, no good. Sloppy play on both ends of the court here. Lead still holds 12-6. Inside to Johnson. Johnson goes strong, fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
That's something Johnson does a lot. He gets a lot of looks at the free throw line. He does such a great job at drawing that foul. A lot of guys are slapping his forearms. But someone I want to highlight from this Nolensville team. Ryland McKelvey, the transfer from Centennial, has been so good this season from the three-point line as Johnson makes his first.
Cuts the lead to 5, does that. Johnson will look to shoot a second. Pretty loud here in the gymnasium of the Admirals. In and out goes the second one. Lead will hold at 5, 12-7.
This rotation looks very strategic from Tiger. It looks like he knows exactly what he is trying to do, and that's get rotation minutes from guys that have worked together a lot in their practices. And they had 3 days of practice versus Nolensville's only 2 after a game at Ravenwood.
Kaiser's going to draw, dishes it out. Mishandled. No shot. Back up top to Kaiser. 35 to play here in what has been a lightning fast first period.
Robinson's such a strong player for this Admirals team. The left-handedness of him is so helpful. Fans unhappy with the call, heard all around the gymnasium.
So it looks like the Knights with 18 just in change here in the first, looking maybe for the last shot to draw within a single possession. A lot of action, not a lot of scoring as the score holds 12-7.
Yeah, you assume McKelvey's going to get the last shot here. They like him from the three-point line, but a lot of the times they go for Johnson inside or Cooper from the outs.
It's a turnover, no shots.
Cooper intercepted his own man's pass. The ball was intended for Jordan Terrell of the Knights. Cooper puts his hand up, and that one does not get to Terrell.
So I didn't even catch my breath that first period. 12-7, really, really fast. And just sloppy play on both sides. Franklin came out super aggressive and quick, put up 7 points really fast, and then only had 5 for the rest of the period. And then it just a lot of turnovers and back and forth play on both sides.
Yeah, it really felt very similar to the Admirals, to the Lady Admirals game we just saw. The Admirals took over quick, slowed down a little bit, kept control of the game, and let the Knights creep in late. Now, Chris Johnson, a player I want to look at for this Knights team. Obviously, he is the star player, committed to Columbia State for basketball now. But Coach Gadice has talked about him as one of the best team players you could have. In their win against a strong Brentwood team that's leading their district, he only had 4 points. A win tonight for the Knights and a Ravenwood loss tonight puts Nolensville atop the district. That would be super crucial for this Nolensville team that's kind of been on a rough stretch after starting 0-3 in district play.
Well, and then against Ravenwood just the other night, or last night rather, same story. Johnson was not the focal point, and the Knights came out and were able to rally as a team and defeat Ravenwood. And it wasn't a blowout, but it wasn't close. The game really wasn't in question the whole night.
Yeah, the last time these two teams played, Franklin took a 9-point win, shot 44% from the field. It was a really impressive night for Franklin. They're looking to repeat that again and to get the sweep over a strong Knights team.
Hall handles it up top, dishes it inside to Johnson. Johnson bodies down, gets the ball out to Hall again. Not a lot of lanes here for these Knights.
That foul there is on Conrad Jones. Conrad Jones is someone Tiger talked a lot about this week. He called him an elite defender and also a high-level shooter. He loves how Conrad Jones plays defense and how physical he is, even though he's not the tallest guy on the team.
McKelvey goes and shoots one, makes one, has another one. This could cut the lead to 1 possession. Currently 12-8 in favor of the Admirals. McKelvey hits a second, and now again a 1-possession game, 12-9.
This Franklin section doing everything they can to make him miss those shots, not working for them for the time being, but a lot of the time those student sections can really be influential late in the games.
Strong drive there by the Admirals, no luck. Ball does not fall.
And that's just Vaughn showing his athleticism there. He's so quick. And the way he moves through those defenders without them even noticing almost.
Dished out to Hall for the 3, in and out, no good. That would have tied the game. Admirals rebound and head down quickly. stolen by Johnson. Johnson, quick dish, and dunk. Beckett Gray puts the 2 in, 12-11.
Yeah, interesting choice to dunk that there. It didn't look like he was super confident doing it, but he got it in.
Hey, the ball went in and his hands touched the rim, so it counts.
I'm sure he would have been happier if he had a bigger crowd here. Not a ton of students from Nolensville here tonight.
In and out goes a 3 on the Admirals, but the Knights couldn't get control of it, and it's going to roll out of bounds.
Yeah, poor communication between Johnson and Hall there. Just could not pick which one was going to go for that ball and ended up losing it entirely. Not the smartest play we've seen so far.
Admirals hitting kind of a cold patch here from the floor and shooting. Air ball's a 3 right there. Another 3 goes up. That's in and out. Just ice cold here for the Admirals. Hall looking to make some noise. Could take the lead here on this possession. McKelvey, deep 3, shots up, swish. Good, up by 2, go the Knights. And what the Lady Knights took 4 quarters to do, the boys do it in 2, which is take a lead after going down big.
Yeah, McKelvey, such an influential player for this Knights team. With that Centennial last year, Gedice really mentioned how McKelvey was hitting those kind of shots that we just saw on his team, and he didn't like that and got lucky enough to McKelvey came to the Knights as number 3, Marshall Freund, Kaiser is fouled and goes to the line.
Fun fact with Cole Kaiser, I coached him in 6th grade basketball at Grassland. Really good kid, great parents, great family, just all around. Hate to see him miss his first free throw there.
Yeah, the shortest guy on this Admirals team coming in at 5'10", 165, but he might be short, but he has a lot of heart. He plays with so much hustle, and Tiger has been so appreciative of him so far this season.
I can confidently say that Cole Kaiser owes none of his basketball ability to me.
Well, makes his second, gets his first points of the night.
McKelvey backs him down, drops 2, lead now 3 for the Knights. 16-13 here in the second. Steal by the Knights. Franklin just struggling to gain composure here after what was a dynamite first 5 or 6 minutes of the first period. Get bailed out there by a travel from the Knights.
Franklin really using the cushion they built early to try to keep this game close. Really can't do anything on offense right now. Just kind of hoping that the Knights can't do more.
Almost another turnover. Franklin just being really loose with the basketball. Another foul on 5 for the Knights. B.J. Hall is going to find himself in a bit of trouble here.
Hall still coming back from injury, still finding his composure that he had last season. He has been very strong from the perimeter so far this season, but he is still trying to find his own in the starting lineup after a tough injury earlier this year.
Admiral settling it down a little bit. Quick 3 for the Admirals, and it's good. That's going to tie it up. Finally, they went about 0 for 4 or 5 on the 3-point, and he knocks it down to tie it at 16.
Yeah, and that's Conrad Jones again. We talked about him earlier. His defense is so elite, but not only that, he is so good from the 3-point line. They love to use him on the perimeter. He's such a strong player for this Admirals team. He's becoming one of the favorites of the fans.
Johnson looking for some space, dishes it out to Carroll. Carroll gets it back inside to Johnson. Johnson's going to back down. Had a mismatch there, didn't take it. In and out goes the shot. I don't think Johnson knew he was being guarded by Cole Kaiser, giving up about 6 inches there.
Kaiser probably grateful that Johnson didn't go in there. That could have hurt.
Johnson, big block defensively there, sends the ball into a crowd of scared cheerleaders.
Chris Johnson, 17 points per game so far this season, 12 rebounds. Really just such a strong player, such a physical player for this Nolensville team, and that's why he's going to continue his basketball career at Columbia State next year.
Just over 4 to play here, tied up at 16. Both teams really just trying to find some identity here as the half progresses. Turnover by the Admirals. McKelvey is going to drive all the way, gets blocked.
That wasn't the best shot selection from McKelvey, but he is so composed on those drives. You can see he doesn't look like he's nervous or forcing himself to go quicker. Tyler Roberts for three, no good. Rebound, Chris Johnson.
Well, and absolutely fearless, because under the rim was lurking big 6'7" Lund, but McKelvey still drove the lane, just got blocked. So the Admirals offensively, they're going to live and die, it seems, by the three-point shot. They've launched a number of them already, but they've only hit 2 or 3. Good pass there by Johnson. Finds number 2 for the Knights, Brody Cooper, who drops 2, and the Knights regain the lead here. Just over 3 minutes to go in the second period. Yeah,
Cooper's story so inspiring. A junior on JV just last season has now become a starter for a very strong 17-7 Knights team, as Lund has a little miscommunication and turns the ball over.
Well, I think he was looking for his player to break right, and he broke left, and he threw it right at the scorer's table. Easy turnover there for the betterment of the Knights offense here. They lead by 2, looking to go on a little bit of a run and stretch that lead if possible.
So 3 minutes remaining in this first half. Knights visiting the Admirals. Knights 18, Admirals 16. A deep three from McKelvey.
McKelvey just shot it from just about half court. Not sure why he put that up. He didn't need to, and it was an air ball, and a bad one at that. I think Dice is giving him a little pep talk there on the sideline as he goes to the bench, saying, what were you doing?
Yeah, B.J. Hall checking in for McKelvey, a very similar player, a little smaller, but such a strong presence from the outside. They really cannot leave Hall open, or else that ball is 100% going in the net.
A little too much air under that shot, understandably, because it was trying to get over Johnson. Knights quickly on the rebound, down court. Quick shot from the paint, missed, gets his own rebound, does he? No good. Johnson outmanned underneath, 5-1 in the paint.
Johnson waiting for help to come tonight. Really can't get too much of it. A lot of easy misses.
Another three-pointer by Franklin. They're just not dropping.
Not a lot of offense so far in this game. 18-16, 2 minutes remaining as B.J. Hall drives to the basket and gets an easy 2 points to bring the lead to 4 for the Nolensville Knights.
Yeah, he caught the Admiral sleeping on there. Went with the left hand, took the lane wide open, and dropped an easy 2. Friend's going to reel from the 3. Didn't have his feet set, and that was ill-advised from the start. Bad shot there by Friend. Normally pretty hot out there. Another 3 launch this time for the Knights.
Franklin again doing a mass substitution. 4 people at a time, almost every time they're doing substitutions. Really an interesting strategy from Tiger.
And that's just a bad foul there by B.J. Hall. Tries to out-jump big 6'7" Lund and ends up landing on his back, and Lund draws the foul. And I believe that's Hall's 3rd.
Chris Johnson checking out for the first time tonight as McKelvey gets back in the game after a ill-timed deep 3. McClarty on Cooper. A mismatch for McClarty. Looking for a shot. Powers through and gets the and 1. Hayden McClarty.
I was just going to say, that's a name we haven't called in a while, was McClarty. He was hot early on. I hadn't called his name in a while. He's back in and drops a quick 2 and goes to the line with the N1 with a chance to draw it to 1 point.
Yeah, 6'4". He has a big frame, and he is so strong in the paint. And he really just kind of forced Brody Cooper to do whatever he wanted, and that makes it pretty easy.
Misses his 1, so the lead will remain 2 for the Knights, 20-18. Just over a minute left here in the second period. Again, what has been a very quick-moving game. Not a lot of penalties here on either side. Not a lot of free throws, but a lot of missed threes.
Yeah, B.J. Hall already has 2 fouls tonight. He's going to need to be watched closely as this game progresses. Beckett Gray looking for an open shot. Missed 2 mid-ranges earlier, trying to make up for that. Has Robinson guarding him. Ball stolen by McClarty. McClarty looking for an open shot. No good.
Great
Rebound,
defense
Gerald.
there by McKelvey.
And McKelvey's such a star player for this Knights team because sometimes he looks like he's got that nonchalant, kind of slow building game, but he puts a lot of effort in, and that's a great defensive play by McKelvey to make sure that McClarty can't get a free bucket on what looked like a easy transition.
Yeah, and you could tell the look on his face when he was chasing the play down, like, I'm going to sit and wait and see what I can do here. Didn't fall for the pump fake. Admirals drop 2, Carson Vaughn on the 2. 1 possession potentially left here in the second period. Knights are going to probably run this down to get the last shot before the half.
Yeah, you assume McKelvey's getting it. I know he took an ill-timed 3 earlier, but you hope that they'll give their confidence back to him.
Perfectly drawn up for the Knights. Gets it inside, and that's a 2-pointer. Ball hits the rafter, and the Knights are going to go in up by 2, 22-20. And what has been again, catch your breath, lightning quick first 2 periods.
Yeah,
and kind of what we thought it would be.
You wonder if it's going to end the same way as the last game we just saw, where it gets really hectic at the end. We both know this is going to be a fantastic game, and it already has been so far.
22-20 is your score. It is the halftime. I'm Doug Capella with Jacob Hammer. We're going to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few.
Welcome back to your WCTV game of the week. The Nolensville Knights at the Franklin Admirals. I am Jacob Hammers with Doug Capella, and this has been an incredible game so far. The Knights with a 2-point lead, 22-20.
Yeah, so we're going to see what the locker room conversations were. Both sides definitely have room to improve. Lots of turnovers and some sloppy play. Admirals living and dying by the three, and they just couldn't get a good bit of them to sink, and it allowed the Knights to come back and actually take the lead in the second period.
Yeah, Franklin needs to start using the size of Hayden McClarty, the 6'4" senior, as Carson Vaughn puts a nice post hook in for an easy 2 points.
Yeah, and I think that's really what they're going to have to look to do, get inside the paint a little bit and not force three-pointers to try to outshoot Nolensville. Oh, just like that, Carroll drives the lane, drops two, and draws the foul. Carroll, more of a perimeter guy, has a good touch on the three and an assist man. Decides he liked what he saw and drove the lane and draw the foul.
Yeah, Nolensville trying to keep their lead, want to keep it pushing and get a nice cushion going into the fourth quarter.
So funny, Carroll misses that free throw. It's not funny that he missed it, but saw his dad, who's the head coach of Lipscomb University's men's basketball team, and I was like, hey, I hear they got a pretty good sophomore, and he says, yeah, if he could only hit his free throws. Spoken like a true coach.
Well, free throws have become a big part of the game. We've seen a couple misses so far tonight, and it's really just a loss on free points as Robinson misses an easy floater, wide open. Carroll speeding down the court.
Robinson had what he wanted, did the spin move, got the defender off his feet, and then shot almost an air ball. McKelvey drives, and he gets two, so they're just attacking the paint here on both sides of the court. You like to see it.
Yeah, Nolensville, this is not necessarily what they did last time they played this Franklin team, losing by 9 in their last matchup. They were more from the perimeter, but now they are pushing the paint and they're staying physical against a team that already is pretty physical.
Robinson challenges again, dishes it out.
McClarty not getting the shot to go. I think the threat of Johnson there as McKelvey gets a wide open three, no good, rebounded by Kaiser. Kaiser pushing up the court, looking for an open man.
McKelvey took his time there, set his feet, and they let him shoot. Still couldn't get the three to go. 26-22 is your third period score. Knights add 2 to what was their halftime lead.
Franklin not coming out with their starting lineup from the night, putting in Kaiser and Robinson in. Not exactly what we saw to start the game, but this is what we've seen a lot this season. We've seen Kaiser and Robinson in the backcourt using that dual-handed versatility.
Robinson drives, gets the 2. Got to give Robinson the award for the best hair out here on the court tonight.
Hall drives again, no good. Rebound Johnson. Johnson fouled on the shot. He'll get 2 free throws now.
Yeah, tied up and fouled there. Lucky it didn't go in for the Admirals because it was close, and that could have been an and one conversion. So he'll just shoot two here from the line.
Hall for the Knights, already 2 fouls so far. Looking to avoid fouling out tonight, so it's going to be, 3 fouls. He's going to have to be very careful in this second half.
Johnson sinks his first one, pushes the lead to 3. Kaiser comes up court.
Johnson, such a strong player for this Knights team. 17 points per game, over 12 rebounds per game, has been so impressive and is now continuing his basketball career at Columbia State as he misses his second. Rebound, McKelvey. McKelvey looking for a shot, and he drops it.
McKelvey looking for a foul there, nothing called. Ball rolls off of his foot or knee, it looked like, and so Admirals will take possession. Knights will hold on to the 3-point lead.
Knights 3-3 in the district so far, looking to get above 500 in the district. Have had a tough season to start their district play.
Robinson comfortable shooting, but the shots aren't falling.
Cooper, one of the bigger players on this Knights team, setting a screen. McKelvey driving. McKelvey looking for a spin move shot. No good. Rebound Robinson. Robinson now looking for a man.
Yeah, Johnson's got to get strong underneath. He got boxed straight out on that. He could have had a chance for the rebound. 3 goes up and it's good.
McClarty we haven't mentioned his name a lot since that hot start to the first quarter. McClarty, not typically a three-point guy, but that one goes in, and that's kind of what Franklin needed after a couple misses from Robinson and a couple other guys.
Carroll dishes to Johnson. Johnson backs McClarty down with the left in and good. Drops two. There's a whistle. Timeout Nolensville. Gadice wants to talk to his players. Kind of interesting there to call a timeout right after they drop a bucket.
Yeah, Johnson's only 4 points tonight. He's a guy that's known for scoring. He is a pure scorer, averaging 17 points per game. Only 4. The leading scorer for the Admirals so far, Hayden McClarty, after a strong start to the first quarter. Nolensville 29, Franklin 27. 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Last time these two teams played, Nolensville shooting 53% from the field, only 33% from the three-point line, and we're seeing a little consistency on that. Not a lot of three-pointers dropping for either team tonight.
Yeah, and the big difference there is volume. Franklin, in that second period particularly, launched a lot of three-pointers as a mainstay of their offense, and they just couldn't get them to fall. They've had some better luck here in this period, but Nolensville has been more of driving the lane and getting your inside points, and that's been the difference tonight up to this point.
Yeah, the defense of Franklin has done a good job holding their guards, the guards of Nolensville, to not a ton of points, but there's not much they can do when the front court's not doing too much.
Franklin drops a floater, but it's an air ball. Trying to move the ball around and reestablish some offense here. Kaiser at the top, looking for something on the inside, decides not, dishes it out. Quick turnover there. McKelvey looks like he's going to try to push it, gets cut off. Good defense there by the Admirals to stop the fast break. Pushes out to Carroll. Carroll's going to drive, gets it out to McKelvey. McKelvey thinks about it, decides no, gets it to Hall at the top.
McKelvey, a guy who struggles sometimes with shot selection. He'll take a lot of threes. We saw that really deep one earlier as Johnson gets a putback to go. 2 more points for him. He's up to 6 on the night.
Johnson drops the stat patter. He missed his first shot, tipped it in for the rebound, got the second shot to fall. That's going to push the lead to 4.
Talking to Franklin's head coach, Coach Tigert, he said the keys to winning this game are going to be contesting shots and finishing plays, as the 3 does not go for Franklin. McClarty with the putback, no good again, and he gets it. McClarty up to 11 points on the night, the leading scorer for the Admirals.
Knights still hold a 2-point lead. Hall looking to create some space with Robinson, gets around him, drives the lane, drops the basket, no good. Johnson gets the tip back in. He's all of a sudden heating up. Look out.
Yeah, right there you see another offensive rebound for the night. Something Coach Tigert talked a lot about this week was a focus on defensive rebounding. Their Wednesday practice is always a heavy defense practice, and that's exactly what they looked at just yesterday. Not doing too well so far as Robinson goes for another mid-range that finally drops.
He got the shooter's touch there, but he was guarded close by Carroll. Carroll in his face doesn't go for the pump, but Robinson gets the ball to drop.
Robinson's been looking for that one to drop after a couple misses so far, and he finally gets it. He's up to 3 on the night.
Inside feed to Johnson. Johnson again with the left. Bounce, good. Again, he's got 6 points in the last 45 seconds. Johnson on fire, keeping the Knights at their 4-point lead.
Yeah, and this is what we expected in the first half as Kaiser misses a wide-open layup. A putback by McClarty gets him up to 13 points, and McClarty has been so strong for this Franklin team to start the second half.
Yeah, for every bucket Johnson drops, McClarty's on the other end dropping a bucket, keeping neck and neck, and the lead at 2.
I'd like to see more production from Brody Cooper tonight. Didn't see a ton in that last game against Ravenwood, hoping for him to come back and become a presence on the offense.
Carroll with the hard foul, guarding his man. Number 20 for the Admirals, Carson Vaughn, turns around, and Carroll plows right into him and draws the easy foul.
You see Hall and McKelvey subbing out for the Knights. McClarty finally coming off the court for the Admirals. I bet you Gadice is breathing a sigh of relief after that. Minute and 59 remaining here in this third quarter. Nolensville 35, Admirals 33. Franklin looking to make a comeback on their home court with a large crowd here, trying to push the momentum towards the Admirals.
So a lot of back and forth, a lot of shift, but we still have the same lead that we did at the half, which is 2. And the story of the third period's been the battle of the big men, McClarty and Johnson trading buckets down court. We'll see if that continues into the fourth quarter. I hope it does, because it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, it's a bucket-for-bucket transaction right now. Realistically, every time Johnson's hitting one, McClarty comes right back, finds a mismatch, and gets one in.
Well, we're going to have to pause on the McClarty-Johnson bucket-to-bucket because Lund checks in for McClarty. Johnson remains in.
Vaughn running the point right now. One of the more athletic players on the court. Stated earlier, he's the long jump record holder for Franklin.
Run out in space, not really a danger to shoot the 3. Wisely gets it out to Kaiser. Kaiser kind of with a lazy drop, almost turns it over. Lund with the left, can't get it to fall. Terrell gets it over to Carroll.
Yeah, and two of the main guys for Nolensville not on the court right now, B.J. Hall and McKelvey. Beckett Gray looking for Johnson. Johnson trying to back down the 6'7" Nick Lund, not working. But Brody Cooper drives in and gets a free 2 points.
Yeah,
and
Johnson's on fire, and he's drawing all the attention down low, and that left Cooper wide open on the left side of the paint for an easy 2 points. And that's going to help. If Johnson can stay hot, that's definitely going to help. Easy foul there on Kaiser. He's going to go line and shoot 2. Terrell in, giving some breathing room to McKelvey and Hall.
You wonder if Tiger went into that last timeout telling his team that we cannot let Johnson keep this production. Let's make the other guys make their shots.
Kaiser drops his first, pulls the Admirals to within 2. And just like that, McKelvey and Hall check back in. They're going with a smaller look because Terrell's going to stay in.
Yeah, we're going to see McClarty back in the game. We assume he'll have a ton of production after checking back in with 51.6 remaining in this third quarter. Last time these two played, Franklin made 8 threes total, 4 of those coming just in the fourth quarter. So this Franklin team likes to show that they are good in the clutch, and I think we're going to see some clutch time buckets from both teams tonight.
So Kaiser hits his 2, and then he checks out in favor of Robinson. Hall working the perimeter here, looking. They're probably trying to keep one possession here. So they're going to keep some keep away here until they can get that clock down and look for the last shot, just like they did at the halftime, sinking it and going up by 2.
Franklin not playing super aggressive. They're not very handsy, not really looking for a steal, just looking to make sure that Nolensville does not get this last bucket, and the lead stays at 2 from halftime to the end of the third.
McKelvey's going to shoot the final shot. In and out it goes. Had an opportunity for a second chance bucket. Both fall short. And so just like half, at the end of the third, the Knights hold on to that 2-point lead. Should be a fun fourth period here.
Yeah, this has been an incredible offensive and defensive game. That first half was focused more towards defense. Only 22 points for Nolensville, 20 for Franklin. Really a strong defensive-minded first half. And then we open the third quarter, and apparently everyone can't stop scoring. Johnson gets hot. McClarty gets hot. They're both hitting every shot in the paint. It has been such a great game to watch, and I think it's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Gedice wants to do here in the fourth and to see what the Admirals and what they think of. It looks like the Admirals have somewhat gone away from the 3, which was good because McClarty was strong on the inside. I think they only shot 2 threes in that third period, and they made 1 of them.
Yeah, something that the Knights have done really well tonight is Coach Gedice had a heavy focus on making sure that the Admirals guards can't penetrate the paint and get easy drives in. I think they've done a great job at limiting those We've also seen a less guard-heavy lineup from the Admirals. They've had a bigger lineup. We haven't seen Robinson a ton. We haven't seen Kaiser as much as we saw Friend in that first half. So they're really picking and choosing what they're limiting, and that's leading to a lot of physical paint battles.
Which is funny because it was the exact opposite for the Knights. They did go with a guard-heavy look for a little bit, but it looks like they're going back with their close to their starting rotation here.
8 minutes remaining in this game of the week as Nolensville tries to hold on to their 2-point lead on the road.
McClarty going strong. He's going to drop the 2, and that's going to tie it up here in the opening minute of the fourth period. 37-37 is your score.
McClarty up to 15 points on the night. He is such a physical presence down low. 6'4", 190 pounds. He does such a great job at making sure that no one on this Nolensville team can back him down.
Trying to create some room as McKelvey, and he can't. Robinson on him tight. Knight's a little sloppy here. You don't want Johnson at the top of the paint trying to create space.
This Franklin student section getting very loud, maybe causing miscommunication. There's a lot of momentum in this building right now.
Shot doesn't fall for Hall. Robinson on the rebound, pushing the court. Gets it out to the wing. Strong drive for McKelvey, no good. McClarty, no good. Ball's going to go to the other side of the court where Admirals recover it.
Really great defense by Hall there. What a mismatch that McClarty had. Hall played so physical and ended up getting a hand on the ball. Really impressive from the smaller guard for the Knights team.
The floor looks slightly tilted to the Admirals so far in this fourth period. A little more under control and a little more composed. Knights all over the place, trying to settle down the defense. Carson Vaughn on the drive, no good. Johnson grabs the rebound. Knights looking to settle down and retake the lead here on the possession.
McKelvey, such an underrated player for this Knights team. His defense is so strong as Hall takes a 3, no good.
In and out. Had a push there on Johnson, not called. Cooper couldn't get the easy layup to fall, and the rim is just frozen shut.
Yeah, and I can't guarantee you that Johnson's super happy. He doesn't have much help as Carson Vaughn gets 2, and the Admirals take the lead back.
Admirals regain the lead for the first time in some time, 39-37.
Nolensville looking sloppy on offense. Their defense has been holding up all right, but if you can't have any offense, they're not going to be able to stop any Franklin possessions.
Well, I guess if you're going to be cold in the fourth quarter, I'd rather you be cold in the first half than in the second half of the quarter. And so just like that, Johnson answers back, ties it up, drops another 2. 39-39 is your score.
Yeah, Doug, we both know what can happen in the end of a fourth quarter, no matter what team it is. We all know that both teams will turn it up a notch, and we know that the Knights will do that.
Robinson with a long 3 from the wing drops it. Biggest lead for the Admirals in quite some time is 3, 42-39.
Nolensville doing anything they can to get rid of this momentum. They cannot let Franklin get hot, and that's what we saw in the last matchup.
Hall there about a step away from the and one, calls on the floor. Score will remain 42-39.
Yeah, and this was the story of the last matchup. 4 threes made in the fourth quarter alone for the Admirals. If they can keep this production, the Knights are going to have a really hard time keeping up with just 2s.
Gerald checks back in for the Knights. He inbounds it to McKelvey. McKelvey's going to take it up, challenges Robinson, but Robinson has been on him like glue in this fourth period. Can't get the fall to shot, and Robinson gets the rebound. Quick basket turnaround there for the Admirals. Conrad Jones pushes the lead to 5.
Yeah, he was all alone there in the paint.
You just really feel the court shifting to the Admirals. Student section's coming alive here. Hall's going to launch a 3, doesn't fall. Big tip in by Johnson, 41-44. I think the Knights, that was huge. They were in danger of really letting this one slip away, and Johnson clutch drops the 2 off the offensive rebound.
And what can Johnson not do? He is this Nolensville team, it feels like right now. I mean, I haven't seen production from really any other players. I was kind of hoping McKelvey would step it up in this fourth quarter. Haven't seen a ton from him so far. Hall missing a couple threes. It really feels like Johnson is doing it all, and he's capable of that.
Well, they're going to need him. Well, he's going to carry them for a little bit, and that's what they need because their shooting has gone ice cold in this fourth period. They have not had anything hit from outside, and Johnson's just been the strong body presence inside. And so he's got to do it until that shooting heats up for the Knights if they're going to want to come back and retake the lead.
Yeah, both teams struggling from the perimeter so far. Shockingly, Nolensville's a lot of perimeter guys that they focus on hitting those threes. Brody Cooper being one of those. McKelvey, Hall, even Terrell. A lot of guys that they expect a lot of perimeter production from that they're not getting for Franklin, Kaiser, Robinson. Both guys that are taking shots, but they're not hitting every time. Really not a ton of offensive production tonight.
Well, and I will say, for all of the commotion in the crowd, Nolensville does not look rattled. They look composed. They look calm. They've been here before. And so we'll see if the Knights can get their defense on track and their offense scoring. Robinson wide open look, and he sinks it. Robinson's quietly heating up.
Yeah, 9 points for Robinson now after 2 pretty bad misses to start the second half. He's kind of coming alive, and he's been really productive for this Franklin team come late in the fourth quarter.
Cooper, strong move inside, and he gets the basket. He needed that one, too, because he went a little bit cold. 46-43 is your score, just over 3 minutes to play.
Yeah, that timeout helped out Brody Cooper. He was struggling, missed 2 wide open layups before that timeout, came back and hits a strong little hook shot to put the lead down to 3.
Foul there on Carroll. I believe that's his third. Second, correction.
This is a reverse story of what we saw in the ladies game earlier. We saw Nolensville getting the lead late with 3 minutes remaining in that girls game. Franklin now getting a late lead after Nolensville's kind of been dominating, just barely ahead.
All of a sudden, quick whistles here on the officials. Didn't call much the whole game, and now they're really looking to keep the game cool and calm. Not letting much go on right now.
Nolensville getting a little handsy. Not too sure why. It doesn't really benefit them to let Franklin get in the bonus in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, plenty of time left. I mean, 3 minutes is an eternity. I think this is intentional on Gadice because they inbounced and he fouled immediately, so I'm not really sure what the strategy is here.
It looks like we have a hack-a-shack sort of situation. I mean, I guess they don't want three-pointers for Franklin going in. This is an interesting move by Gadice, not something we see super often. Don't want Johnson to get the fouls, it looks like. They're going to let number 20 on the Knights take those.
I guess Gadice has Googled the free throwing percentage here of the Admirals, and because that's 3 quick fouls in just under 30 seconds.
Yeah, in the last matchup, the Admirals shot 76% from the free throw line to the Knights 75. Not too sure what this strategy is, but we'll see if it plays out.
Well, and they're not fouling now, so they just gave up 3 quick fouls, I guess for no reason. Vaughn hits the turnaround jumper. Lead back to 5. Interesting 45 seconds there for the Knights. Huge, huge 3 by number 2 for the Knights, Cooper. That's going to bring it within 2.
Yeah, and he looked uncomfortable taking that shot. I'm really surprised it went in. He did not look confident, but cuts the lead down to 2, and Cooper's now been such a strong force for this Nolensville team. Cooper, a guy that was on JV just last year as a junior, has become so strong.
So Kaiser's going to go to the line, makes his first. 3-point lead now for the Admirals, but Cooper, and going back to your point, that was the least confident three-pointer I've seen shot in a while, but swished in. Kaiser looking to make it 4, in and out, so still a one-possession game here, 2.5 left. But the Knights are in danger of, well, they're in the bonus now at this point, and I'm just not sure of what that strategy was.
Yeah, it seems like they didn't want to have to foul to get to the bonus later if it comes down to that, but an interesting strategy to try to build momentum back from a team that kind of lost it.
Another 3 up and out. McKelvey on the rebound. Another quick whistle here. The officials are really clamping down on the calls.
Yeah, really surprising call there, especially with McKelvey getting a pretty easy basket right after. Don't know if I saw the contact he did there, but trust his judgment.
Well, and I think McKelvey would have rather have had the basket. Out for 3. Shot is up, an air ball. McKelvey has been ice cold from the three-point line. It's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to the Admirals.
Yeah, bad shot there. I mean, it was wide open. Good shot selection, just simply is not dropping for the Knights right now. Really can't get any momentum going. They're doing everything they can to creep back in this game, and it's not working.
Well, and McKelvey just looks uncomfortable. He's been ice cold, hasn't hit a shot, and he just really does look uncomfortable. And that was an ugly shot, didn't go in. Still a one-possession game. I mean, it's the Knights are by far not out of this.
Yeah, I think sometimes McKelvey forgets how strong he is. He is a very physical and strong player, and sometimes he just kind of forgets he has that and starts missing shots that he should be making.
So the Admirals now employ the old rope-a-dope where they're going to pass the ball around and burn clock. Johnson is forced to foul there. Gets foul on McClarty. McClarty's going to shoot 2. Well, in this, unfortunately, Jake, it may be the longest minute and 28 seconds of the night here because they're already in the bonus, and I think we're going to look to foul. McClarty hits his first.
Yeah, something to note, Brody Cooper looks like he got poked in the eye a couple possessions ago. He's been looking to see if he can see out of it right now. Looks a little swollen from up here, but that's something to keep an eye on, especially as this game gets late and they keep him in.
So McClarty drops both, pushes it to a 5-point lead. Minute and a half left to go here in the game. Knights need a quick score here. Cooper on the inside, can't get the teardrop to go in. Johnson on the foul.
If these go in for Robinson, this game feels like it's nearing an end very soon. 7-point deficit is not what the Knights would want to see. Hoping Robinson misses both of these. A big 3 is needed for the Knights. You wonder if they're going to go towards McKelvey, who's been their guy all season, or if they're going to try to trust B.J. Hall or Beckett Gray from the perimeter.
So Robinson shooting 2. First one's up and good. That's going to push it to 6. Yeah, another point here makes it 3 possessions, and that's just going to be a tough hill to climb, especially because the field goal shooting for the Knights in the second half has not been good. He makes a second, so 53-46 is your score, 7 points. Knights need some points in a hurry here. Hall's going to look, check Robinson on the inside, drives, gets the shot, and 1. Huge play there. Could drop it to a 4-point lead here if he makes his free throw. That's about the best case scenario for that possession.
Yeah, the Knights desperately needed a little bit of momentum, a little something to keep them in this game, and that's exactly what that was. Hall needs to make this free throw to keep their momentum going.
Misses it. Admirals rebound.
5-point game, 52 seconds remaining. Knights losing hope, becoming desperate. It's a foul, or sorry, timeout for the Admirals.
Well, and they got it to Kaiser, and it's not the kid you want to foul because he's probably going to make both of his. So 4 points, 49 seconds. That's what stands in the way of a Knights victory here.
Yeah, Franklin looking like they're going to sweep the Nolensville Knights. An impressive feat considering the Knights have been so strong this season. Both teams 17-7 so far. The Knights starting 0-3 in district play this season, getting back up to 3-3. And now the Admirals looking like they're going to get a nice clean sweep. Hayden McClarty, kind of the star of the game so far tonight for the Admirals. He's been such a crucial player. 17 points so far tonight. So dominant in the paint, the way he's had so many baseline drives. He's had so many spin moves that he's used as post hooks. It's been so impressive. Luke Carroll, a guy he's really targeting tonight. 6'4", 190 is McClarty. He's been so strong. He's really imposed his will upon this night's team.
Timeout's up. Admirals possession. Then Knights need a turnover like I need $1 million. We'll see if they can get it here on the inbounds. They don't. It goes right to Kaiser, and he's fouled immediately by McKelvey. He will go to the line and shoot two. The important thing is it's a 5-point game. So if Kaiser hits both of these, it's back to a 3-possession game with 46 seconds to go.
Yeah, Nolensville doing anything they can in their heads to hope that he misses. As the first one drops for Kaiser, a 6-point game now. Admirals 54, Knights 48, 46.6 remaining. The Admirals in the bonus. Not looking great if you're a Knights fan.
Yeah, and Kaiser's a cool customer here. He doesn't look rattled by this whatsoever. Second one's up and good. So back 7-point lead. They're going to have to push the floor here and get some quick points. Back to McKelvey. McKelvey drives, loses the grip on the ball.
The Knights surprisingly going for two still. 33.7 remaining, 7 points down. I think a 3 is what they're going to need. I don't think they can get in this game by going for twos. And look, if Carroll had made that shot, gotten the N1, maybe it's a different story. But for right now, that's what I believe.
Yeah, Carroll had a nice drive there. Sinks his first. That's going to cut it to 6. They're going to have to force a turnover on the inbounds. They can't just simply keep fouling. There's just not enough time left.
Johnson doing everything he could in this game. 14 points, doing anything he could to try to keep the Knights in it. And after keeping the lead for a majority of the game, the Admirals have good hope of taking this one home. 30.7 remaining on the clock. Admirals 55, Knights 49. Admirals going to the line to take 2 more.
Well, and Carroll only hit 1 of 2 there, and so this could push it to an 8-point because what the Admirals are doing is hitting all of their free throws.
McClarty, clearly the star player from tonight's victory for the Admirals, but an unsung hero is Colin Robinson for sure. Came in the game, started a little ice cold, heated up as time went on. That ended up going for his 13th point here if he makes this second one. Just really fantastic from the mid-range. Forced his will upon a lot of these defenders.
Makes both. That's going to push it to 8.
Nolensville getting desperate, looking for anything they can just to try to get some points on the board. Still going for twos as McKelvey drops one in.
Well, and they're going to give that up all day. They're going to give up the lane as long as they don't foul.
Yeah, interesting decision by Coach Gedice to go for those all those fouls earlier, kind of coming back to get them here. Down 6, 21.2 remaining. The Knights starting to lose hope and get desperate. Admirals fans are thrilled, and the section has gotten louder and louder as this fourth quarter has progressed.
Yeah, you mentioned it. We got to go back to there was a span of about a minute 15 where the Knights committed 4 fouls, and 3 of them looked intentional. And I really wasn't sure what the strategy was there because it's a different ball game at the end of this fourth quarter if they're not going to the line every time to shoot. And they've hit just about every one of their free throws, and that's been the difference because the Knights just haven't been able to gain any ground here in the waning moments of this period.
Yeah, I'd love to hear Gedice's reasoning on that really confusing decision to me. Kind of shocking to see him almost give up the game in a sense. Obviously, the Knights still pushing to see whatever they can do, but it's going to be Admirals ball, 21.2 remaining, a 6-point lead. Not looking great if you're a Knights fan.
Well, and if you are a lip reader, Gedice just said we're shooting 3s. And so it looks like after they commit the foul here and send them to the line, it's going to be a quick up court run, and then they're going to start shooting threes.
Yeah, you kind of wish they'd been taking threes beforehand, but for the time being, I guess they'll take what they can. And that's a pretty aggressive foul there from Ryland McKelvey.
Yeah, Admiral's looking for the tech. It's not going to be a technical. He didn't throw him to the ground, but he did grab him.
Nolensville just looking extremely desperate, really not surprised by what's happening right now. But this game is as good as over for the time being.
Vaughn misses his first one. Still a 2-possession. If he misses the second, there's a glimmer of hope, but the Knights will have to rebound and get the 3. Misses his second, so there is some hope here. McKelvey shoots an air ball. He has just been ice cold this game.
Yeah, not too much he could have done there. Coach is yelling to shoot. He's got a man in his face, looking for anything they can as this Knights team gets more and more desperate. 11 seconds remaining. Admirals 57, Knights 51. Admirals looking for the sweep on the Knights after a big 9-point victory last time out. Admirals, strong performance from McClarty, strong performance from Robinson as Vaughn goes to take 2 more, and he sinks the first one.
Well, and that last possession was everything that the Knights needed to happen. Vaughn missed both free throws. Knights get the rebound, and then they just couldn't get anything going on offense.
Yeah, talking to Coach Tigert earlier this week, he talked about how his team has a more methodical approach coming into games like this. It's less shots, but it's better selection, and I think they really focus on that tonight. McClarty was only taking shots that he had open after backing down mismatches. It was really impressive to see this Franklin team play so methodically and not just chuck up shots, which they kind of did in that second quarter with a lot of those threes that they missed.
Yeah, just unfortunate for the Knights because they had a chance to sit atop first place in the region and just couldn't close the game. And it's such an interesting Knights squad because they can beat the best teams in the county and then at the same time really blow some games that they probably should win.
Yeah, the Admirals typically play the drive and kick style of play. They look to drive in and get free threes that way. But Nolensville didn't let them kick that, but they let them drive in. I mean, Hayden McClarty had so many wide open lanes to the basket. He didn't have to work too hard for a majority of his buckets. And I think that's where Nolensville was at fault today. They didn't play as physical as Franklin. They didn't look like they wanted it as bad as Franklin.
So the lead is 7. Vaughn's back at the line. 11 seconds here left in the ball game. Vaughn sinks the shot. Lead is 8. Really just not a whole lot here that the Knights are going to be able to do. Under 10 seconds to play. We're just passing it back and forth now. Not really sure what's happening. And that's the ball game. 2 missed shots. Your final here, kind of flip-flop. Admirals pull away in the fourth quarter of the boys' game, and the girls for the Knights pulled away in the second half in their game, and so we split. Admirals take 1, Knights take 1. I'm Doug Capella with Jacob Hammer. Final score, 59-51, your WCTV Games of the Week. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back next week.